The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And another very chilly morning out there. At least it's quiet, no snow right now.
Yes, but as we head into the afternoon, we could be seeing a few light snow showers. I don't think anything impactful, but enough to remind us it's still winter time. I think that's our key here. We take a look at the current conditions outside right now from the weather stations all across upstate New York. You can see the weather stations in Rochester and Buffalo reporting some snow and slightly warmer temperatures. In the meantime, here locally where the skies have been clear, radiational cooling has kicked in and we have dropped into the negatives again. -4 in Rome, -9 in Hamilton. By the way, these are temperatures, not just wind chill, which winds haven't been a major factor in the last few days, so I've been showing more regarding the temperature themselves. The Yorkville Battery Live radar showing an approaching frontal boundary. You can see it to our west, providing western New York with some light snow showers early this morning. But a lot of that early morning snowfall isn't quite reaching the ground. In the meantime, we do have some partial clearing out in the eastern sky. A live look at downtown Utica. The reason why I'm showing this is that if we get the right clearing time, and I'm looking at the satellite feeds right now, it's a very narrow window. If we hit it just right, we could be seeing a very colorful sunrise here. So, but again, the timing is key. It all depends on when that exact arrival of clouds roll in, because when it does, it's going to be pretty overcast for much of the day today. Temperatures, though, climbing into the 20s, so maybe it's a bit balmy. Maybe grab those shorts with how cold it's been recently. But either way, we have some on and off snow showers this evening through tonight. Lake effect sets up. Again, neither of these events will be impactful, but noticeable at least. And we are looking at a more notable accumulating snow event later this week, followed by another Arctic blast. We'll be diving into all that and more coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. The search continues today.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Time now is almost 5:12, and as you head outside this morning, yet again we have another cold start. Not as cold as yesterday morning, but nonetheless it's enough to still grab those extra layers. Current conditions outside right now, -4 degrees. Now, actually I do stand corrected here with a slight easterly wind here. That feels like temperature has dropped down to -15. So with the latest wind update right now, I guess you could still call it bitterly cold. Regardless, as I mentioned, just bundle up heading out the door this morning. Now, what we can expect the next at least few days at least. So today, increasing clouds with light snow showers this afternoon. As we head into tonight through early tomorrow, we have the arrival of some minor lake effect response off of Lake Ontario due to a westerly wind moving in. I don't expect a whole lot of snowfall from this, but enough to potentially coat some surfaces and roadways into the early morning hours Wednesday. Then it does quiet down a little bit heading into Thursday before a more notable or at least accumulating snow event arrives Friday. And then following that, a major cool down on the way Friday into Saturday and throughout much of the weekend. So you can see here the radar starting out dry, snowfall arriving from the west. You can see a mostly quiet morning, some light snow showers passing through this afternoon, and that lake effect arriving as we head into tonight. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Super Bowl week kicked off in San.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Today we start out relatively quiet with the arrival of some scattered light snow showers this afternoon. We'll look at the radar right now. We can see the approaching light snow from the west. On top of that, despite the radar also looking mostly quiet, some locations, I think a little bit mainly north of the Mohawk Valley, seeing some of that light fog work its way in. This is one of those unique scenarios where it's just so cold out that you get a low-level inversion. You get some of that fog trying its best to form here. But either way, it is a pretty quiet and dry start to your day. As we head throughout the morning, we're going to see clouds increase and the arrival of some light snow this afternoon and especially this evening. As you can see, overall, this broad area of low pressure shift its way eastward. And then we have some backside lake effect to track here, but then following that, we do have a bit of a clipper system arriving by Friday, and this is our best shot for measurable snowfall the next 5 to 7 days. Of course, following that, we have some colder weather as we head into the weekend. So let's time it out here on our Skycast. So today, we've got temperatures starting out bitterly cold, a few clouds, some light snow showers working their way in as we head throughout Tuesday, or at least this afternoon. And then by tonight, a few snow showers turn to a very narrow band of lake effect early Wednesday morning. I think the biggest impact time frame will be in the early morning when temperatures are still on the colder side. As we climb into the 20s by Wednesday afternoon, it just gets more and more difficult for lake effect to really actually have meaningful impact. Then by Wednesday evening and Wednesday night, it's pretty quiet out there, cloudy skies, temperatures in the teens, climbing into the 20s yet again with some colder wind chills. And that will be the case as we head into Thursday night with still looking at quiet weather. Eventually Friday starting out dry, and then we're going to see the arrival of widespread snowfall from this clipper system, which will usher in some much colder weather. We have alert days in effect for Saturday and Sunday. We mentioned that we did have some pretty cold wind chills over the last, I would say, couple of weeks. But I think this will be mainly our coldest temperatures on paper this season. I think we have a pretty good shot for that. Minus 15 the temperature Saturday night, and highs for the day only in the near zero range. So we have some serious cold back on the menu again, Gary.
Hopefully it won't be windy as well.
Yes, hopefully not.
Brutal. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:21, still ahead on, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. Get ready to be hit by that brutally cold air this morning once again. And Eric, below zero at this hour for the second straight day.
Yeah, that's right, Gary. We're starting out right around the -4 degree range here, so another bitter cold morning. On top of that, we have some fog out there, something we haven't seen in a little bit here. Usually we see fog when it's warmer out, enough to see snow melt at least, but it's a very foggy morning out there as the colder air has since sunk to the surface before those clouds roll their way in. So you're going to be encountering maybe some of this early this morning before eventually we'll see cloudy skies and a few light snow showers this afternoon. Officially, as I mentioned, -4 in Utica, the wind chill probably around the -15 range. -7 in Hamilton, and then you can see out west, you have some snow showers reported there. So expect maybe a few flurries in the morning here, but more likely than not, that'll be arriving in the afternoon as well. So when it comes to snowfall today, low impact, but still at least enough to maybe coat some surfaces by the end of it. So you just saw the radar there, that snowfall approaching from the west. We're going to see those temperatures climb into the 20s this afternoon. Still a cold morning out there today, but I think in the 20s, you might even call this a heat wave. But nonetheless, as we head throughout the next few days, temperatures will be similar to this, wind chills a bit colder. We are tracking some lake effect, at least a more impactful system on Friday, and a major cool down this weekend. We'll dive into all of that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Thanks, and don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. All federal officers in Minneapolis.
News Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli. This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Tuesday morning. We begin with our photo of the day today, and this one is a great shot sent to us from New Hartford with a submitter who has sent photos like this in the past. This is John, and just an adorable shot here of some snow faces of some deer who probably have one of the puffiest coats in recent years due to how cold it was. Of course, when it enters the warmer months, they begin to shed a little bit, but either way, you can see they're probably trying their best to stay warm, and certainly we are too. So amazing shots here. If you have one to share like this for your neck of the woods, WKTV.com/weather/pics is the place to go. Your photo of the day, every day, brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. So if you're just tuning in this morning, well, we have a cold start. We have even some fog. We have some light snow showers developing today, and a overall pretty unimpactful stretch of weather, but still this could be producing some minor accumulations with snowfall, especially the next few days. I'll dive into what locations are the best shot for that, the time frame, and everything you need to know throughout the rest of your week straight ahead. Gary.
Eric, thanks. We've talked a lot about high energy bills.
Most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. A pretty quiet start today, depending on where you are. Some of us starting to see some of that fog roll in early today. We take a look at the radar, though, initially, where we can see some clouds and some, of course, snowfall working its way in from the west. This will not be highly impactful, but enough to at least produce a few light snow showers in, I would say, the next few hours. It's starting to wind down a little bit as it shifts its way eastward, but nonetheless, as we head throughout the morning hours today, you could be seeing some of those flurries. As we head throughout the late morning, early afternoon, it's a cloudy one. Temperatures slowly climbing into the mid-20s, and then we have a better opportunity for a few scattered snow showers this evening, and then lake effect as we head into the overnight into early tomorrow. This is driven in by a broad, weak area of low pressure. This is nothing really impactful, just an area of energy providing us with some of that snowfall. As I mentioned, we got some of that lake effect arriving Wednesday, and then you can see here, this is a snapshot at Thursday evening, and this is our next weather maker that we think has the best opportunity for accumulating snow and at least more major impact regarding temperatures as we head into the weekend. So let's just time it out here in our Skycast. Today it's a cold start, clouds increase, a few flurries here and there. Better shot for the snow showers this evening through tonight. We're going to see that westerly wind kick in early Wednesday morning, especially west of Utica, this zone right here. You might encounter some snow-covered roadways. I wouldn't say a lot, maybe an inch or two, but nonetheless it's enough to produce some snowy surfaces. Then as we head throughout the afternoon, the temperatures climb, the lake effect will begin to wind down, and then by Wednesday evening, it's pretty quiet out there. Still looking pretty cloudy, and temperatures will be in the teens. Then Wednesday night into Thursday is probably our quietest stretch of weather all week long. By Thursday afternoon, mostly cloudy. In fact, even a few breaks in the cloud cover in the evening hours there. But as we head to Thursday night and eventually Friday, that's when we're going to start to see the arrival of that Clipper system. And this is going to usher in some much colder weather. Of course, Friday bringing some accumulating snow. Then Saturday and Sunday, this might be some of the coldest air we've seen all season. And yes, we have some pretty cold temperatures, but I think this will be mainly the actual temperature itself. Highs will be near zero. Lows will be in the negative 15-degree range. So we're not done with cold just yet here in central New York. We're still in the brunt of wintertime, Gary.
Good weekend to watch some football.
Oh, yeah, great football weekend. As long as the sun is shining, too. Just make sure you guys stay warm.
Yeah. Eric, thanks. SUNY Chancellor John King visited Herkimer College and SUNY Poly on Monday. At SUNY Poly, he helped launch the school's new Office of Workforce Development. News Channel 2's Nolan Hyman tells us about how that will help students.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And another below zero morning out there, 2 in a row.
Yeah, it just keeps on coming. More cold weather just keeps going. But yes, we do have a cold morning out there, and even a few snow showers early today, Gary. But the snowfall today, very low impact, if any at all. We look at the current conditions in downtown Utica right now. We actually have some fog out there early today, so you might be treated to that early this morning. And then on top of that, we look at the temperatures, and you can see here -3, so up 1 degree compared to earlier this morning in Rome. But you notice as you head your way out to the west, you have even some snow showers, but even some warmer temperatures too, as that is expected to climb its way into central New York over the next few hours in the wake of this frontal boundary here. It's not a lot of snow, but it's enough to potentially produce a few light flurries in the atmosphere, I would say, in the next hour or so, moving into western Atlantic County, and then eventually in the next 2 or 3 hours into Utica and west, or east, I should say. So after this cold morning, we climb into the 20s this afternoon, mostly cloudy skies, a few flurry chances possible this evening. We have some lake effect developing tonight into early tomorrow. Overall, pretty similar temperatures to this for much of the week. And then we have some more accumulating snow on Friday and a major cool down this weekend. We'll dive into all of that in that full forecast in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. The search continues.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Tuesday morning. Time now is 6:11, and as you head out the door early today, another cold one out there, temperatures in the negatives, but today we might have a bit more in terms of potential impacts to travel. Actually, I would backtrack that here. Impacts regarding visibility, at least. We take a look at downtown Utica. So we got some fog out there early this morning and a temperature of -3. Now, winds have calmed a little bit, so that feels like temperatures still around the -3 degree range here. And while we start out with some of that fog this morning, we are expecting on and off flurries and light snow showers today. I'm not expecting anything majorly impactful with this. I think a typical light snow event here in February. As we head throughout the next few days, though, we do have a chance for some isolated lake effect west of Utica heading into tomorrow morning. That, I think, might produce some slight accumulations, not a lot, but enough to coat some surfaces. And then we do have a more impactful, or at least event that has measurable snowfall Friday, with the arrival of some Arctic air to follow again as we head into this coming weekend. So we just have cold weekend after cold weekend, but nonetheless, that seems to be the trend so far. Radar showing some snow showers approaching from the west right now, and as we head throughout the day, as you can see here, not anything major, but enough to at least remind us it's still wintertime with some of these snow showers. Again, as we head into tomorrow, there is that lake band I mentioned arriving overnight tonight into early Wednesday morning. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Super Bowl week kicked off in San Jose.
Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Tuesday, we begin today with a few things. So we start with some fog reported in the Utica area, especially as you head, say, in the Oriskany Boulevard area, right along the Mohawk River type zone. As you head outside of that, especially heading both north into Deerfield and south into New Hartford, the at least fog layer begins to weaken. But either way, you can see the zone here of fog, and the city itself can't even quite see some of the downtown buildings out there. But nonetheless, We look at the Yorkville Battery Live radar. We have an approaching front producing a few light snow showers in the next couple of hours here in the Mohawk Valley. But that's really about it in terms of any notable snowfall today. We are expecting, of course, a few flurries to arrive this afternoon, especially this evening as well. You can see overall the time frame of this. Cloudy skies, mid-20s, the highs for the day today. So not too bad for February standards. I would call this probably one of the more typical February days here in the Mohawk Valley. So this snowfall is driven in by a weak area of low pressure here. It's, I think for the origin you could call it a clipper, but it's very, very weak. I would say more closer to at least a wave of energy, if that. But as we head into Thursday night, especially into Friday, we can see this much larger clipper system approaching. This will have a higher impact with at least more measurable snowfall by the end of the week. So we're tracking that, plus what follows, which would be another Arctic blast of cold temperatures and wind chills. I would say downright Arctic temperatures and wind chills. But nonetheless, let's take a look at the skycast today. It's after a pretty clear overnight. That fog has rolled in briefly. Now clouds are moving their way in too. And then, of course, a few on and off snow showers. By tonight, the wind direction shifts, and we have the possibility of some lake effect coming off Lake Ontario. Now, a few things. The air will still be very dry, and the lakes are still getting colder and colder. Now, despite that, the best opportunity for at least measurable snowfall, enough to coat some surfaces, will be in the morning. As the temperatures climb into the 20s, that lake effect will fizzle out. Then it's pretty quiet heading into Wednesday night and into Thursday. But Friday, as I mentioned, that's when that snowfall moves its way in. Lingering into early Saturday, which both Saturday and Sunday are alert days due to that cold weather. We have highs in the single digits and overnight lows at -4, -15, and -10. So another cold stretch on its way. We are definitely in the midst of wintertime, Gary. There is no doubt about that.
Maybe it'll be the last one.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully we may get some warmth in sight.
Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. And once again, if you're getting ready to head out the door, Eric, get ready for some below zero temperatures again, 2 days in a row.
Yeah, another bitter cold morning out there, Gary. I wouldn't say as cold as yesterday, but we're still in the negatives, which I think I would classify still as bitterly cold. On top of that, we have some fog out there this morning we're looking at. This is the early morning fog ahead of some cloudy skies and some light snow we'll be seeing throughout the day today. So let's piece it together here in that forecast. We're down to -3 right now, so about a degree warmer than an hour ago, but nonetheless, you can see out to the west, we have some snow showers. To the east, we have clear skies and colder temperatures. That's pretty much been the story over the past couple of days with that lake effect initially. This time, it's not really lake effect, it's actually a frontal boundary, providing us with some light snow showers as that band moves its way eastward and weakens. I'm not expecting a lot of snow from this. Just enough to potentially produce a few flurries, enough to maybe coat some surfaces. I wouldn't say it's even enough to really coat any roadways today. So this is at least early morning, quieter start today. This afternoon, highs in the 20s, a few more light snow showers this evening. And then tonight, lake effect moves in. That'll be the first round of at least potentially some measurable snowfall. I'm not expecting a whole lot from that either. And again, that's mainly west of Utica. But later this week, we have a more notable snow event producing accumulating snow Friday, and then a much colder weekend on tap. We'll dive into all of that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. All federal officers in the
Tracker 2 team, where we track storms.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Tuesday morning. Our photo of the day today brings us to New Hartford, and a great shot sent in to us by John of this amazing photo of snow faces, two adorable deer, obviously with their thick winter coats, with how cold it's been. Hopefully they've been staying warm. I know that For us, we've had to layer up, and for sure, probably one of the puffiest I've seen wintertime deer coats in quite a while. So if you have amazing shots like this one here of snow-covered deer, of a winter sunrise, of a moonshot, of anything that you think could showcase the beauty in your town, in your neck of the woods, WKTV.com/weather/pics is the place to go. Your photo every morning brought to you by GPO Federal Credit Union. Now, if you're just tuning in early today, we got some fog we're dealing with. We have a few light snow showers, but we do have more impactful conditions later this week. We'll dive into all of that in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We've talked a lot about high energy bills these days.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this Tuesday, we begin with some foggy conditions in downtown Utica. A live view outside. Not major impacts to visibility, but at least with the fog there, something we haven't seen a little bit. Nonetheless, on top of that fog, we also have some light snow showers approaching from the west. I mentioned this morning, at least in the last few hours, that this would be weakening a little bit. And sure enough, it's starting to fall apart. Nonetheless, we do have a few flurries possible in the next couple of hours here across the pretty much all of central New York early today. Behind it, well, it's mostly quiet. We do have some more snow chances this afternoon, and again, that's snow on the lighter side. So in terms of impacts today, little to none. Maybe enough to coat some surfaces, especially this evening and then after sunset tonight, but maybe less so regarding roadways. We are tracking some lake effect, though, that begins to move in starting tonight into early tomorrow. This is not a major event, but it's enough to, again, provide us with at least maybe an inch or two of snowy conditions, and that'll be mainly west of the Utica-Rome area. In fact, let's zoom in here because we got a couple of things to talk about, at least over the next couple of days, and especially toward the end of the week. So we see clouds increase today, a few light snow showers this evening. That wind direction shifts more to the west as we head into the evening and overnight, allowing that lake effect to start to form, especially by early Wednesday morning, with temperatures on the colder side. As we climb temperature-wise, lake effect fizzles out. But either way, if you live in this zone right here in western Natick County, you have the possibility of seeing at least some measurable snowfall. I wouldn't say, again, a lot, but enough to coat some surfaces. Then that snowfall winds down. It's pretty quiet heading into Wednesday night and especially into Thursday. Keep in mind, Wednesdays and Thursdays wind chills will be likely in the low teens to single digits, despite highs on paper climbing into the 20s. It's that time of year where sometimes temperatures can be deceiving. But regardless, by Friday, the wind's not nearly as strong, at least early in the day. Highs are in the 20s. We have measurable snowfall from Friday's Clipper system and a trailing front that'll usher in some much colder weather. We're talking an Arctic air mass returning yet again, and of course, just in time for the weekend as you go from the 20s down into these single-digit highs near zero, and overnight lows in the negative double digits again. So we got another bitter cold weekend on tap, Gary.
Yeah, 15 below is a little ridiculous.
Grab a third layer this time.
Eric, thanks. SUNY Chancellor John Hayes joining us now. And Eric, another nice warm-up from our below zero to this morning, right?
Yeah, it warmed up a little bit. It's a already shorts weather out there, Gary.
Oh, my.
So take it out, yeah. Yeah, we do have some slightly warm conditions out there today. Very balmy here in central New York, at least in February standards here. But also we have a few light snow showers are tracking on the radar. Some of this falling below the radar scans, but it's not a lot. I mean, we're looking at live cameras right now, and I mean, at most, we have a few flurries falling. As expected, it's not really a whole lot we're expecting today. We look to the west. We do have a few more bands of snow rolling their way in. These will arrive this evening, bringing light snow to sections of the area. And now temperatures are in the teens right now. They're slowly climbing into the 20s I think it's going to be very difficult to reach the 30-degree mark a lot of models were pointing at today just due to the cloud cover and the snowfall. But either way, I do think low to mid-20s are attainable today. But right now, at least we're in the teens with a few flurries in the sky so far. But at least it's warming up compared to days past. Downtown Utica, you see generally overcast. You might see a flurry or two fall through the screen right there. You might see the backdrop of the DoubleTree there with a few flurries falling. But nonetheless, today, our highs will remain in the mid-20s. As we head into tonight, we're going to see the arrival of a few more scattered snow showers. Lake effect forms off of Lake Ontario. It's not expected to be very impactful, but it could bring at least some minor accumulations. We'll dive into that, plus how it's shaping up for the rest of the week and what we can expect for a bitter cold weekend straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Brand new this noon, the Municipal Commission.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. On this Tuesday, we are tracking some light snowfall approaching from the west. We have a weak system moving in. We look at the radar and satellite, kind of seeing the broader scale setup of this system here, and we have this morning, which was a warm front rolling its way in, or better yet, more so closer to a trough. There isn't really a whole lot of warm air associated with it. There's a trailing cold front, though, that's going to move its way in, providing us a few scattered showers and snow showers and a shift in wind direction as we head into this evening. For right now, though, we are just looking at a few light flurries passing through the area. Nothing really that impactful. Looks to be a typical, I would say, February day here across central New York. Now, what has been typical has been the cloud cover pretty persistently over the last couple of weeks. Step off camera here, you can kind of see the one exception being as we headed closer to the weekend, and especially yesterday with a lot more sunshine than usual. And that's, of course, been the outlier in what typically is the cloudiest time of the year. So we get sunny days like that. It's a bit of a change-up to our current pattern, which will still show us more clouds than not for the next few days. So unfortunately, I don't have a lot of sunshine in the forecast to share with you guys. But we do expect less impactful weather. Yes, there could be some lake effect tomorrow. No, I don't think it's going to be that impactful, but still it could produce at least some minor accumulations. Our more notable system we're tracking right now arrives in the form of a clipper on Friday. Here it is right here. It begins to move in throughout the day and eventually shifting some much colder air from the north into central New York, especially by the weekend. So on our Skycast today, after a very cold start, we have climbed into the, I would say, teens so far. Models telling us we'll reach the low 20s, but I just think overall it's very difficult to reach the potentially even low 30s today, despite what the data is telling us. I think it's just too cloudy, and we still have some flurries falling. It's going to cause that at least air to cool a bit. Then, as we head into the overnight, we're going to be seeing some minor lake effect off of Lake Ontario. Notice here the models aren't really picking up on it. I think for the first time, I kind of agree with the models here. They usually undersell it, but I think just overall how the temperature difference between the Great Lakes and the air on Wednesday, combined with the winds, which I don't think will be that strong. I'm not predicting any high impact from this, maybe enough to coat some surfaces, especially west of Utica. But that's an early heads up for that lake effect. That winds down throughout the afternoon as temperatures climb. And then between Wednesday afternoon through much of Thursday into Friday, it's just generally cloudy. Not really a whole lot going on, which I think a lot of us are thankful for. It gives us time to kind of recoup, especially for those of you in highway departments that definitely have been working almost around the clock with the amounts of snow we've seen. Ice, pretty much everything that's kept you guys busy. But nonetheless, that widespread snow moves in on Friday, and notice we have alert days Saturday and Sunday due to that bitter cold. We have highs Saturday and Sunday in the single digits, but just transparency here, I think the wind chills both days will, similarly to what we saw in weekends past, remain below zero the entire time. So of course we're in the negative double digits on paper overnight, but I just think the wind chills remaining very cold throughout at least both
Yeah.
days. So
Good to cook in this weekend.
yes, grab some chili, maybe grab some pizza,
Oh.
and of course watch some of the big games going on.
Yeah, one big game, that's for sure. Eric, thanks. Now to the ongoing cleanup. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now, and as we mentioned earlier, a nice warm-up from our 5 below this morning, and not too bad.
Yeah, we're in the teens, so a little bit of a warm-up here, Gary. 18 officially in Rome, and a few snow showers here. We look around the state, the weather stations from Watertown to Rochester to Hamilton, all reporting a few minor flurries, but that's really about it. We zoom in here, we look to the North Country. It's actually in the upper teens, low 20s. 18 degrees in Whitesboro, 22 in Deansboro and Washington Mills. As we head out here, it's 19 Dolgeville and 20 in Little Falls. We head south, 13 Cooperstown and Morris, 22 Sherburne, and 23 degrees heading up north into central Madison County. Now, the radar right now still showing a few minor flurries here and there as we head throughout the afternoon. That appears to be the case. We do have a cold front approaching, providing us with an opportunity for a few more scattered snow showers this evening, mainly after sunset. So again, it's a pretty quiet afternoon. A live look at downtown Utica. You can see a few flurries falling, but that's really about it. Travel impacts very low, if any. So the next 12 hours, highs climb, if we're lucky, into the mid-20s for a lot of spots before we cool down again tonight with the arrival of that front. Now, winds will pick up. We're going to be seeing the potential for some lake effect right off of Lake Ontario. That will be something we'll be monitoring in terms of travel impacts, but I think an early preview tells us I don't think it'll be that big of one. We do have more accumulating snow later this week and a major cool down this weekend. The details on both of that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A group of House Democrats are calling for
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are still tracking the arrival of some light snow from a system moving in from the west. We look at the radar and satellite here. We can see the approaching frontal boundary here. Not a whole lot of activity. I'm not expecting any major impacts today from this system. A lot of dry air in place here, and the fact that this is not going to produce a whole lot of snowfall in general because it's a much weaker system. But nonetheless, we zoom in the radar here. A lot of this is falling below some radar scans, but it's enough to indicate to us that we do have at least a few on and off snow showers and flurries for the time being. So that's at least what we're expecting so far today, as well as a return to cloudy skies. It was a bit of a relief to see some sunshine yesterday, and especially in parts of the weekend here, because notice it's been a very cloudy stretch. Now, this is not an outlier. This time of year typically is the cloudiest just because we have 5 massive lakes to our west, and we usually get westerly winds. So you figure that combination of air blowing over lakes filled with moisture, and we get low-level clouds when the temperatures are colder. So regardless of lake effect, in terms of rain or snow, we do get the lake effect clouds that do like to linger a bit longer than normally. But nonetheless, we look ahead throughout the remainder of this week, and we do have that on and off snowfall tonight, a brief round of lake effect early tomorrow, and then our next round of snowfall will be right here. And this is a Clipper system, our next notable accumulating snow event here for the time being. We're going to wait to see probably as early as tomorrow what it might mean for early previews for snowfall accumulations. But nonetheless, this will produce snowfall and then a massive cool down this weekend. So piecing together here in our Skycast, clouds increase, a few light snow showers here and there. Temperatures struggling to get into the 20s. Then we're going to see the arrival of some lake effect. You can see it right there impacting mainly western Oneida County. I think with this system here, the lake effect is not going to be that strong. It's going to fizzle out the farther east it goes into Oneida County. But based off of the stronger westerly winds, I'm not ruling it out just yet. And we're not officially done with lake effect season until we start seeing some warmer temperatures. So either way, expect potentially some minor accumulations, especially in western Oneida County. We'll follow that tomorrow morning. We'll see how it's behaving, and we'll provide updates. But for now, that's what our thoughts are for tomorrow. Then once that lake effect fizzles out in the afternoon, it's pretty quiet for Wednesday afternoon through Thursday night, with our next shot for snowfall, as I mentioned, arriving on Friday. Now, clouds will be persistent for much of Thursday anyways. And then we have that accumulating snowfall Friday, and then that cold front dipping down, bringing us a huge blast of Arctic air yet again, as we're back to a weekend of bitter cold. Overnight lows in the negative double digits and wind chills both Saturday and Sunday below zero for the pretty much 48 hours. So we do have some pretty cold weather to look forward to.
An alert weekend.
Yes, make sure you find ways to stay warm, and as always, keep those pets inside.
Eric, thanks. Newly released surveillance footage.
Time for our first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Well, we're tracking some snow working in. It's not going to be a big deal, but it will be enough to coat the roads and drop the visibility. We actually have a band moving into Utica at the moment, and there's more bands to the west. Total snow throughout the course of this evening will be very light. Most areas only pick up less than 1 inch, but it does come down at a pretty steady clip for a short period of time. There is a snow squall warning to the west, too. I think these are going to weaken by the time they head east, but we're watching them, and if they don't, we'll let you know how they play out throughout the course of this evening. Again, that would be more of a visibility thing later this evening. Still expecting some very cold weather for the weekend. Back-to-back Storm Tracker 2 alert days for sub-zero temperatures, sub-zero wind chills throughout the entire weekend. Current temperature 24 degrees. Cloudy skies at Griffiths and Rome, but again, snow showers will be around this evening. Temperatures will be in the 20s. We are tracking some light snow showers and flurries tomorrow before a big drop in temperature takes place over the weekend. Look at the forecast as it's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. State police are investigating
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
We're tracking a light, fluffy snow falling across central New York this evening. Let's take a live look in downtown Utica, just like our tower cam. We do have some light snow showers and flurries, and as you can see, the roads at the time being are generally wet. Just enough to coat the ground is expected over the next hour or two. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. There will be bands of snow that roll in from the west, so this will come in with waves, and they don't last for very long. The next one will arrive within the hour. It's already in western Oneida County and Madison County. Another wave to the west will move in later this evening. Again, total snow between now and tonight looks to be less than 1 inch for most areas, so this is not expected to cause any big problems. Today is the last day of solar winter. Solar winter is the darkest quarter of the year from a standpoint of sunshine, so it's the 45 days around the winter solstice, so the 45 days before and the 45 days after. And tomorrow is technically when solar winter ends. What does that mean? That means we're past the darkest quarter of the year, and we'll continue to see brighter days ahead as we not only gain light in terms of in the evening and in the morning, but also the sun becomes much stronger as it gets higher in the sky. Temperatures are in the 20s, Dollarville 23, Deansboro 24, across Southern Valleys, Sherburne 27, Cooperstown 23, Oneida with 21. The really cold weather arrives for the weekend. We're taking a look at the wind chills throughout the weekend. On Saturday morning, we're looking at, or Saturday afternoon, I should say, wind chills will be about 20 below zero. It's going to stay cold pretty much the entire Saturday. The entire day on Saturday. Wind chills will be about 20 to 25 below Saturday night, and they remain very, very cold here as we head into Sunday. So a very cold weekend is expected. Layer up, air temperatures in the single digits, wind chills 20 to 30 below for most of the weekend. Clipper continues to roll through central New York this evening, and again, it produces very light snow showers. Temperatures will drop down into the teens overnight. We will have lingering snow showers and flurries for Wednesday, especially the first part of the day. Temperatures will climb into the 20s. And we do get a chance to dry out Wednesday night. And Thursday, the weather looks pretty quiet. I'm looking at cloudy skies. Next round of snow is going to be Friday. That's going to be along an Arctic front that will be delivering that big drop in temperature. Snow showers tonight, low temperature of 9. Tomorrow, flurries. Cloudy skies followed by some sunshine, 24. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Temperatures remain in the 20s over the next several days before that Arctic front arrives Friday. Again, that brings a burst of snow and lots of wind. Big drop in the temperature. In fact, I think Saturday will be the coldest day we've seen so far this winter. High temperatures only in the lower single digits, overnight lows well below zero. Good news is the weather does look dry, so we should see a little bit of sunshine this weekend too.
Bill, thank you.
Cleanup continues, Nate.
Tracking rounds of snow working in from the west. These are relatively light, but they will drop the visibility and it'll produce a coating of snow. Most areas pick up less than an inch of snow here as we head into the course of this evening. But it does come in pretty quickly, and we really haven't had much snow over the past week, so something of a change, a bit of a change here. Snow in terms of measurable snow. We've had a lot of flurries here. Temperatures are going to be in the 20s over the next couple of days. Big fallout heading into the weekend, though. Looking at highs only in the single digits. That's the air temperature. The wind chill is going to be far, far below zero heading throughout the weekend. We're thinking 20 to 30 below zero. If you're taking the dog out for a walk, it's actually a good evening to get out. It's cold, but it's going to be a lot colder this weekend. Temperatures in the 20s. Tonight's featured dog is Thor from Frankfurt. And if you want to be part of this, head to Skycast, WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Kristen, back to you.
Okay, I debated saying this, but didn't Thor look like he was wearing a jail jumpsuit? Thor, what is going on? The American Red Cross says
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking snow showers moving in from the west. Let's take a live look in Cooperstown. A slight drop in visibility is expected this evening. We're not expecting big travel issues with a light accumulation of snow over the next hour or two. We're watching to the west, and we are keeping an eye on this band of snow. This round that's moving through shortly will be relatively light, but the one behind it is showing some signs of poor visibility. In fact, there's a snow squall warning in effect for this band over Oswego, and I do expect this to weaken as it heads east, but it may not weaken quickly enough for us to not see at least some impacts with this. It's not much accumulation expected, rather a drop in visibility, and there could be just enough snow to coat the roads. It's been several days since we've had any travel issues with the snow that's been falling, so just something to keep in mind. We're not expecting any big problems, but there could be one or two spots that get a little bit slippery this evening. Bigger picture shows we're kind of in the doldrums of the weather this week, with not a whole lot going on. Again, some light snow chances this evening, some flurries around tomorrow, cloudy skies Thursday. It's Friday that things start to change, and the bigger picture shows here's the leading edge of Arctic air that arrives on Friday. This leading edge is going to bring some widespread snow along with a big plunge in temperature. We're looking at wind chills throughout Saturday, well below zero. In fact, wind chills stay between 15 to 25 below zero all day Saturday, dropping to 20 to 30 below zero Saturday night, and remaining double digits below zero on Sunday. So it's just a frigid weekend. It's very windy. I think that's the difference. We've had cold weather on the weekends before. We've had some wind, but we're looking at very windy conditions here both Saturday and Sunday. So a good weekend to hibernate. Skywatchers checking in. Mike in New Hartford 27, Cassville 23, Norway 24, Old Forge 16, and Cooperstown, Stewart with 22, Skinnivis with 26. Again, light snow moves in this evening with a clipper, and again, very little accumulation is expected. A dusting, half an inch of snow for most of us. Temperatures will drop into the single digits. Flurries linger around Wednesday, but again, these are harmless. I'm not expecting any travel issues with these, although it could be snowing for about the first half of the day in spots. Temperatures will remain in the low 20s, and we're looking at dry weather heading into Thursday. Tonight, snow showers down to 9. Tomorrow, flurries linger throughout the day. Could see a little bit of sunshine late, 24 degrees. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. That Arctic front arrives Friday. It brings widespread snow late in the day, high of 27. It turns windy. It turns much colder. It's downright frigid over the weekend. We've got back-to-back alert days due to the cold weather. Looking at sunshine, though, and temperatures will recover next week. A warming trend is expected Monday and Tuesday, with temperatures in the low 20s Tuesday afternoon. We'll be right back.
With Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
So we're watching some snow showers rolling into central New York this evening. They've been generally weakening as they approach from the west. A quick burst of snow is possible. There is a snow squall warning out in Oswego, but we've been watching the radar trends, and a lot of these have been weakening as they've moved east. Should this hold together, though, a quick burst of snow is possible. This will take about another 1 to 2 hours to get into central New York. We're not expecting much accumulation here. Big story is the cold weather expected over the weekend. We're looking at sub-zero wind chills all throughout the weekend, between about 20 to 25 below zero. Air temperatures will be in the single digits, so we've got back-to-back alert days, some very cold weather on the way. And I think it's even going to be colder than some of the days we've dealt with so far this winter. 22 degrees, the current temperature. This evening, temperatures will remain in the 20s, snow showers. We are tracking a relatively quiet stretch of weather before it gets really cold. A look at the forecasts coming up. James, back to you.
Bill, thank you. It's not just national.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking light snow approaching central New York from the west. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. We've been seeing rounds of snow showers over the past hour or so. The next round is moving in now and will also produce a light coating of snow. We're keeping an eye on what's happening to the west. We have a snow squall warning in effect in Oswego County. This band of snow is coming down hard just on the shore of Lake Ontario. The trend, though, this evening has been for these bands to weaken. We'll keep an eye on this. Should this hold together, it would produce a burst of snow, but not much accumulation as these things are moving fairly quickly. And again, this could create a brief drop in visibility this evening. As we continue to move through the winter season, what we call solar winter ends tomorrow. Solar winter is the darkest quarter of the year, so it's the 45 days before and after the winter solstice. And now that we get through this, we're actually going to be on the brighter side of things. You notice the days are getting longer, but the sun is also getting stronger as it's getting higher in the sky as we move through the winter season. Bigger picture shows the weather looking relatively quiet for the short term, but we're watching Friday. A strong Arctic front drops in from the northwest, and this will bring very cold weather to central New York over the weekend. We're taking a look at wind chills on Saturday. So all day, the wind chill looks to be below zero, 15, 20, 25 below, even in the middle of the afternoon. So dress nice and warm if you're going to be doing anything outdoors Saturday, and give yourself lots of breaks to warm up. The wind chill goes to about 30 below Sunday morning, and it stays between about 15 to 25 below zero again throughout Sunday. So just a very, very cold weekend ahead. In fact, I think it's going to be colder on paper than even what we've dealt with so far. Mike in New Hartford, 27 degrees. Old Forge, 16. Skenevis checking in with 26. Again, this weather tonight comes from a weak Clipper system. Again, it doesn't produce much accumulation, but a quick burst of snow is expected this evening. Temperatures will drop into the teens. Lingering flurries as we head into Wednesday. Little accumulation is expected. A few breaks of sunshine late in the day. Temperatures in the low 20s. The weather looks pretty quiet heading into Thursday. Stubborn clouds. Temperatures in the 20s. Snow showers tonight. Low temperature of 9. Tomorrow, flurries linger. Temperatures in the low to mid 20s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Cloudy on Thursday, 23. That Arctic front is here late Friday. A burst of snow is expected, a high of 27. Frigid over the weekend. Back-to-back alert days due to the cold. Single digits during the day. Lows at night well below zero. We do start to climb out of this next week. The weather looks dry. Teens Monday, back into the 20s Tuesday.
Bill, thank you.
Still to come on News Channel 2 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. The reason we don't have a special graphic is because, well, it's snowing. And I can't believe it's still snowing.
Well,
it's just every day, just a little bit.
Well, you know what? This is only the second time since Thanksgiving where we've had 5 days without any measurable snow. So the streak ends
so I guess
today.
I shouldn't complain.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of been a little bit of a snow drought. So
Right.
Seeing it again just kind of reminds us of, everything else that we've been dealing with this winter. Thankfully, we don't expect a lot here tonight, just enough to dust off the car windshield in the morning, and it really doesn't cause much of an issue driving. The snow is rolling through, and it's less than an inch of accumulation here heading into tonight. But again, just the fact that we're seeing it again does make news here in the weather department. We're looking at a temperature of 23. One thing that we're not talking about tonight for a change is the bitter cold. Temperatures will be above zero tonight. That snaps a long streak. It's been 11 days in a row where temperatures have fallen to zero or less. So we get a break from that. Temperatures, again, will be in the teens here tonight. Flurries continue into tomorrow. An Arctic front returns Friday. And then it gets very, very cold heading into the weekend. Snow showers tonight. Temperatures stay well above zero. Again, little accumulation is expected. We are taking a look at conditions at tomorrow morning's bus stop coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. After 3 days, the latest partial.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. Some light snow continues to fall across the city. The roads are in pretty good shape, and I don't expect any big problems with this as it rolls through. We're going to get just less than an inch of accumulation. But again, just enough to coat the roads, brush off the car, heading out to work or school tomorrow. This is going to be the tail end of some light snow. We will see some lake effect in the wake of this, but it's looking very, very light. Just a few flurries look to linger into tomorrow. Today marks the end of solar winter. It's the darkest quarter of the year, the 45 days before and after the winter solstice, which means the sun is getting stronger. And in fact, we're going to be seeing significant changes in the sun angle over the next couple of weeks as we slowly head through the month of February and into March. When it actually starts to warm up the weather, well, that's going to take a while. We're talking about temperatures in the 20s for the next couple of days. Very weak lake effect snow is going to be driving our weather. And then this comes in Friday. This is our next weather maker. It's an Arctic front, and that's going to be bringing a big drop in temperature. Take a look at the wind chills Saturday. Throughout the whole day, we're 15, 20, 25 below zero. Throughout Saturday night, the wind chills go to about 30 below zero. And Sunday, it's not much better. In fact, it might even be colder feeling at times, especially in the morning. By the afternoon, the wind chill is about 15 below zero. Just a good weekend to stay indoors. And again, looking colder than any of the previous cold outbreaks we've dealt with by just a few degrees. It's not going to be significantly colder than the coldest day. So we look at the bigger picture. Clipper rolling through central New York tonight. Again, a very light accumulation of snow is expected. Lingering flurries into tomorrow. Temperatures start out in the teens, and we'll see cloudy skies throughout the majority of the day. Temperatures will remain in the 20s tomorrow afternoon. We'll drop down into the teens tomorrow night. Cloudy skies Thursday. A little bit of sunshine is possible late in the day. The weather looks dry. Our next chance of snow is going to be Friday night as that cold front arrives. Snow showers tonight down to 9 degrees. Tomorrow, flurries linger into the first part of the day. Temperatures in the mid-20s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. That Arctic front arrives Friday late in the day, a high of 27. It is frigid over the weekend. Air temperatures will be in the single digits during the day. Air temperatures at night, 10, 15, 20 below zero. And the wind chills will be much cooler than that. Monday, sunshine, still cold 15, but we do start to warm up. We're back into the 20s on Tuesday with partly sunny skies. We'll be right back.
First look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. We're looking outside. A little bit of snow out there as we drive home tonight, right?
Yeah, just a dusting of snow on the ground. Actually, the first measurable snow in 5 days, which, okay, that stat might not seem that impressive. But we've only done that once since Thanksgiving, and that was our January thaw.
Wow.
The snow has just been very regular here in central New York this particular winter. So we're kind of breaking this short-lived streak. We will be taking a break from the snow for the most part over the next couple of days. It looks like our next chance of any measurable snow will be Friday. But we will see flurries tonight and tomorrow. Live look at the Airfield Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, that comes from Lake Ontario, a weak disturbance coming through the area this evening. Temperatures are in the low 20s. Here's another streak that's going to break, the below zero temperatures. We're not going to fall below zero tonight for the first time in 11 days. So this streak comes to an end with a nice break in the weather here. Flurries continue tomorrow. An Arctic front arrives Friday. It turns frigid again as we head into the weekend. Snow showers this evening, temperatures in the single digits. Again, tracking some light snow chances again Friday. Look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. After
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. We had some light snow roll through central New York this evening. There's a light coating on the ground. The main roads are wet. Side roads are going to be snow covered, and this will be lasting through tomorrow morning. So just keep that in mind for your morning commute. You might need to take a moment to brush off the car before heading out to work or school. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Snow showers continue to move south and east of Utica. There will be some lingering lake effect snow. With the lakes being so much colder, this is going to be very, very weak activity. This is mostly just flurries tonight. This is going to linger into tomorrow. We are now exiting solar winter, the darkest quarter of the year. The 45 days before and after the winter solstice comes to an end today, and that means we are going to see brighter skies, more daylight, and the sun angle is going to get stronger moving forward. Now, when will it actually start to matter? That's another question, and the answer is not anytime soon. We're going to be in the throes of winter here for the foreseeable future. We've got cold air that's going to be entrenched in the northeast, and another push of Arctic air is going to be on the way for Friday. This big, massive blue is an Arctic front, which will drive the jet stream south and bring frigid temperatures to central New York. We've been doing this a good portion of the middle of winter here. We're going to do it again for the weekend. Wind chills 10, 15, 20 below zero throughout Saturday. It drops to 25 to 30 below Saturday nights. Wind chills remain very cold Sunday. We start out with wind chills 30 below in the morning, and then it will climb to 10 to 15 below Sunday afternoon. Good weekend to hibernate for sure. Air temperatures will be in the single digits. So a clipper rolling through the region tonight, producing just very light snow. We talked about how Lake Ontario is much colder, so these clippers aren't producing as much snow as they used to. And again, just a very light coating of snow is expected tomorrow morning. Lingering flurries first thing in the morning. I think they last about half the day, producing very little snowfall. Remains cloudy, a little bit of sunshine late in the day. Temperatures in the 20s. Cloudy skies tomorrow night. The clouds linger around Thursday, with temperatures climbing into the low 20s. Snow showers tonight down to 9 degrees. Flurries throughout most of the day tomorrow. Again, little accumulation, 24. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Quiet Thursday, 24. Arctic front Friday, that's late in the day. Burst of snow. The winds pick up. It is going to be a windy and frigid weekend. Alert days for the intense cold. Single digits during the day, 10, 15, 20 below zero at night. We do start climbing out of this next week.
think we got a shot at any new records? I'll have to look that up, huh?
I don't think so. I mean, it's hard to break records in the middle of winter like this. You've got to be generally 20 below zero or less.
Well, I don't want to break those records. All right, thanks, Bill. Coming up next, despite